Hello and welcome to Glasgow Rangers Nation with me, your host Owen James, a channel that brings you all your latest Rangers news, guys. Today we're going to talk wingers. After, I think an incredibly impressive performance by a winger yesterday in the 2-2 draw with Club Brugge at Ibrox, Finlay Curtis been the man that took the plaudits with an excellently taken equalising goal from a superb Nadim Bahrami pass. Could Bahrami be bringing about a bit of a rebirth in his form under a good coach? Possible. But Finlay Curtis really impressed, and I, for one, as I said on the podcast last night, certainly hope that Finlay Curtis has a big part to play this season and gets more chances and more opportunities. Now, you look at the Rangers winger situation at this moment in time, and if we discount Finlay Curtis for a moment, which, it's dangerous to do because hopefully that lad will play a big part. Rangers are a little bit thin on the ground when it comes to wide players. Since obviously Václav Černý left, we lost our top winger. We've got Robbie Matondo, who I think a lot of people want to see leave the club. We've got Ross McCausland, who is, again, I think people want to see leave the club. You've got Kieran Dow can play out wide. Again, people want to see him leave the club. Oscar Cortez is someone with a hell of a lot of potential. Hopefully he can stay fit this season and can prove to us that he is the player that he was in that 5-0 win over Hearts. Skillful, quality, cutting in off that left-hand side, testing the goalkeeper, creating chances, all those things that you want your wingers to do. So we are a little bit thin out wide. And, realistically, we don't want to see Hamza and Danilo and Bahrami playing out wide. We don't want to see these square pegs in round holes that we saw under Clement and Barry Ferguson. We want to see players playing in their position and playing to their potential. Now, the media, look, we all know when it comes to Rangers, the media love a bit of clickbait. They love a bit of Rangers are going to do this, Rangers are going to sign this player, Rangers are going to sign that player, because they know that Rangers fans will click on it. They know that Rangers fans will watch, read, whatever. And it does their advertisers good and they make money from it. We know that. However, let's deal with some facts. So Russell Martin has said there will be more players arriving this week. He has said that the squad that plays in that Panathinaikos game will not be like this squad. So there is clearly new players arriving. There is new players being signed. Now, yes, I think some of those will be centre-backs because we still need centre-backs. Given how dreadful the centre-backs were in yesterday's game, I think there is a need for the likes of Connor Cody, the likes of Nasser Djiga to come in and play a part. I think they have a big part to play. I think that the centre forward is still a position we need to address, even with the news that Hamza and Dessers are returning to the club next week. Got to say, I was gutted about the Dessers news. But look, I think that's definitely a position we do need to address. But I think winger equally is a position that we need to address. On a recent depth chart that was displayed by another podcast, it was said that the two right wing options were Ross McCausland and Kieran Dow, which is damn depressing if that's your right wing options. Now, the media are saying that Rangers could sign up to 3 new wingers in this transfer window. I do find 3 a little bit unlikely, especially now given the emergence of Finlay Curtis. As I said on the video last night, I also find the whole Wesley Patati rumour, the Brazilian magician from Maccabi Tel Aviv, a little bit far-fetched, a little bit too not realistically going to happen. If we get Dor Turgeman, probably don't get him as well. So I think that one can be kind of ruled out a little bit. I think there are other clubs from England that are interested. I think there's clubs from Holland interested. I think they're probably in pole position to steal the player away from us. The 2 names that do seem to have come up recently is Samuel Ballet, the amazingly named Samuel Ballet. I mean, we seem to be collecting fantastic names this summer. Asgard, Ballet, fantastic. We'll talk about Samuel Ballet in a moment. But the name that's come up, a rather exciting name that's come up just in recent times, is this young man you can see and has been on the screen since the start of the podcast. This is a Crystal Palace player who spent last season on loan at Sheffield United. A player that is very highly thought of, a player that Palace are willing to sell, a player that Palace will allow to go. Now his name, I'm going to try, is Jesrun Rak-Sakyi. Jesrun Rak-Sakyi, maybe? Saki, maybe? Rak-Sakyi. Anyway, he's a good footballer by all accounts. Very good footballer. Let's find out a little bit about him, shall we? So he was born on the 5th of October 2002, so he's 22 years old. So he's a young player who's looking to get into a first team, start his career off, develop himself. But I suppose the argument would be, so is Finlay Curtis. He's from London. He is just under 6 foot tall. He's from England. He has English and Ghanaian citizenship. Very Wilfred Zaha of him. He is an attacking player, a right winger who uses his left foot. So again, he's one of those inverted wingers. So we would have Cortez from the left, cutting in on his right, and Rak-Sakyi cutting in from the right on his left, like Tierney. So he's kind of a direct Tierney replacement. He's with Palace. He's under contract until 2027. He signed his last contract extension in 2022. So this is a player that Palace are apparently willing to allow go this summer. Palace are looking to raise more money to bring more players in, obviously, as they've obviously won the FA Cup, playing in Europe next season. So looking to sort of strengthen and improve going into that. Now, in terms of Rak-Sakyi's stats and where he plays, now he's played as a right winger, a left winger, a right midfielder, a centre forward, an attacking midfielder, and a left midfielder. So he can play in a number of positions, but right wing is his favoured position. He's had a wide and varied experience in his career. He came through the youth system, started the youth system at Chelsea before going to Palace. He had loan spells as well. I don't know where the Charlton one comes from. Weird. He's played for Sheffield United on loan last season, had 36 appearances, 7 goals, 2 assists. Made 10 appearances for Palace, including some in the Premiership. Has played for Palace's under-23s, Chelsea's under-18s, Brighton's under-18s. Had a loan spell at Charlton, that's what it was. It was a loan spell at Charlton that he had. It was a loan spell between 22 and 23 where he made 49 appearances, scoring 15 goals and 9 assists, so 24 goal contributions in 49 games. Majority of his time he's played right wing or left wing, as you can see from his stats. Arguably more effective from the left wing by those stats. 38 appearances, 26 goals, 12 assists. That's 38 goal contributions in 38 games. So clearly a player who can play right wing or left wing. So can either come inside or go outside. So I think, there could be some fluidity there. There could be some interesting, movement of positions there with someone like Rak-Sakyi. He really could come in and perhaps, start on the right but drift to the left, and someone from the left comes to the right, and it sort of really varies the points of attack and confuses defenders. It's all very exciting. So, this is obviously a very exciting player. Now, it's unclear at the moment whether Rangers want this to be an initial loan with an option to buy or just a straight loan, or they're willing to do business on Rak-Sakyi. Now, the only kind of downside to doing business on him and buying him is that reportedly Palace want up to £10 million for the player, which is a lot of money. Now, what you got to kind of remember, guys, is when you sign a player from England, if he's English, even English stroke Ghanaian, they're going to cost. Okay, there is kind of this weird English tax on players, and let me give you some examples. Alex Scott, who is an attacking midfielder who plays for Bournemouth currently, doesn't always play for them either. Transferred from Bristol City to Bournemouth for £23 million. Jack Clark, winger from Sunderland, transferred to Ipswich for £19 million. English talent costs money, guys. And him being young, English, and up and coming means it's going to cost money. Now, whether Rangers would be willing to do a deal on 10 million, I don't know. I think some people would argue if you're going to spend 10 million on him, who is a risk because he might come up to Scotland, not settle in, not be able to do it, not be able to prove, not like the foot. I don't know. There's all sorts of variables. There's always a risk with every transfer. People might argue, well, if we're going to pay 10 million for him, why don't we go and pay 10 million for Tierney? That could be the argument, couldn't it? And I certainly see that argument. I certainly do. So look, he looks a very good player. I like him. I think he's talented. I think he has got a future in the game. If Rangers could get him, I think he's a player that if he continues at his present rate of development, I think could be a player that in 12 to 18 months, 2 years time could be worth a substantial amount of money, and you could end up paying 10 million for him but get 25 back for him. Could be a very interesting possibility. The other name that's come up as a possible winger target, which is a bit of a revisit, is the Como winger Samuel Leon Beat. I can't believe that's actually his middle name. Samuel Leon Ballet. I'm leaving out the beat. I think that's someone just playing a bit of tricks there on the old Wikipedia page. But Samuel Ballet is 24 years old. Again, a player who does fit the player trading model. Is a right winger as well. So again, that's an area where Rangers are weak in and don't have that, have a number of players to choose from there. He can also play left wing. He can play centre forward. So he does fulfil a number of options right across that front three, just like Jesrun Rak-Sakyi. Now, he would be a bit cheaper than Jesrun Rak-Sakyi, I think about £2.5–3 million. So much more in kind of the price bracket that we've kind of been shopping and kind of been working, at this moment in time. This is a guy who started with young boys, went to Winterthur, then went to Como, then went to Zurich on loan. He spent last season at Zurich on loan before coming back to Como, the very ambitious Italian team. Like I said, he is an attacking midfielder. He is right winger, and rather bizarrely for a right winger, he is right-footed. He's under contract until 2027, so again, it's 2 years to go. As you're seeing, this is a little bit of a pattern here, isn't it? 2 years to go, don't sign a new contract, sell them. That's what I've been arguing about all this time when I've been talking about the whole situation with Nicholas Raskan. But in terms of Samuel Ballet, he, like I said, has played. He's played for Winterthur. He's played for young boys, for Zurich. He's had for Como. Obviously, he's had a number of different experiences, a number of different teams that he's played for. He's played in the Swiss league. He's played in the Italian league. He's played in Serie B. He's played in a number of different leagues and gained a wide and varied experience. Now, last season when he was at FC Zurich, he made 28 appearances, 3 goals, 2 assists. So slightly less impressive numbers than Rak-Sakyi, but certainly someone that is believed that Rangers could well be looking at. So 3 wingers, I find 3 wingers a little bit far-fetched. I don't think it's going to be 3, especially now with the emergence of Finlay Curtis. I think it may be 2. I still think they may go out and buy a couple of wingers to supplement Curtis and Cortez. And then you're definitely going to see the likes, obviously, of McCausland go out, I think possibly on loan, and then Matondo, hopefully on a permanent basis. But I don't see us retaining all those wingers. And, as Russell Martin said, I think there will be players exiting the club this week, as well as players arriving at the club. But this young man looks exciting, as does Samuel Ballet, as does Wesley Patati. I'd settle for any 2 of those 3. I think they all look good. I do have to say that I do find the links to Patati and to this Crystal Palace kid a little bit far-fetched. I think the Ballet link is a little bit more closer given the value. I just don't see us paying £10 million for a player at this stage. Like I said, I think if we were, why would we not go for Václav Černý? Guys, I'd love to know your thoughts. Right, thank you for watching Glasgow Rangers Nation, guys. Just a short video this morning. Thank you for watching. If you've enjoyed the content, please like, comment, share and subscribe to the channel. I'm back to speak to you very soon here on Glasgow Rangers Nation.